going to the prom with your sister, Nani. Like, yeah, like when you can't find, or you're a girl that's really no one likes you, and then your brother has to take you to the prom, or your cousin or something. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that was the start of the video. Hello. Welcome to my reaction to Mob Psycho episode 5, OCHIMUSHA, Psychic Powers and Me. So let's go.
しかしたまげたぜ。茂雄以外にもいたんだな、超能力者。だけどびっくらこいってんのはあちらさんも同じようだぜ。
バカな。お前ナチュラルか。僕の他にもいたなんて。隣の気色悪い造形のエネルギー体は何だ。お前が刺激してるのか。
いや、取り憑かれてる。
まあいい。聞きたいことはいくつかあるけど。その前にはっきりさせとかないとね。上下関係ってやつをさ。
何それ。
See, it's like the fact that his what is this? The energy is rising. As far as I understood it, that is about suppressing emotions or something, and then it builds up to a point where he has to release it. I think that it would be more, it might not, in terms of visually and the story, it might not be as entertaining if he were actually to learn how to manage and regulate those emotions and powers so that they don't build up and explode. Less entertaining in terms of story value, but as a person, if I watch shows in more in a realistic sense. As a person, if he really wants to grow, he needs to learn how to express himself and how to, so that build-up doesn't happen. And I think even stuff like not knowing how to act in that situation could build up stress, tension, energy. If he could just have used 5% to, you know, get his friends out of harm's way, I think that could have been helpful.
一応気をつけろ、茂雄。いくらお前でも油断してると足をすくわれる。
ごめん、聞いてなかった。何？どうして攻撃してくるの？僕は何もしてないよ。仲良く。警
戒してんな。
Yeah, he literally seems like he wasn't paying attention at all to anything happening around him. That seems to be the issue.
この場で自分の優位性を証明しないと収まりがつかないんだろうな。それはさておき、あのワイヤーアクションみたいな変な動きはなんだ？
念動力だよ。物を浮かせたりするやつ。
お前はやらないのか？
酔うからやらない。
念動推進力による高速移動で近づき、最高衝打で吹っ飛ばす。大凡人用として完成されたこのダンシング戦法が、あいつの前ではただの変な。
This feels like Saitama and Ninja. I remember that. Remember the balls.
またなんか内股で仕掛けてくるぞ。お前も早くドーンってやり返してやれ。
嫌だよ。超能力は人に向けていいものじゃないんだ。
Like, he's willing to use his psychic powers to protect himself, but if he had only some awareness to see that, oh, my senpai were here protecting me and there's now psychic powers being used against them, maybe I can use my psychic powers not only to protect myself, but my friends or these people that came to save me and were literally putting themselves out on a limb for me. They didn't need to do that. So all I'm saying is some sense of awareness would be nice. You just have to make a bubble around them. You don't even have to use your power on them, but whatever.
よく聞け。俺たちは人とは違う特別な力を生まれ持ったわけだが。
Yeah, you were born with special powers.
特別な存在だと勘違いしてはいけない。足が速い人、歌が上手い人、超能力を使える人。これらに優劣などつけられるか。
Exactly like that girl did before when she was like, oh, some people are just not born equal. Like, what, bitch? Don't you decide what is.
持つのはいいが、おごってはいかんぞ。俺たちの力は使い方次第で狂気にもなる。よくわかってんじゃねえか。肝に銘じておけ。 それが特別な力を持つ俺たちのモラルだ。
That guy.
レーゲンが言うと台無しだな。
とにかく喧嘩には使わない。それに僕は超能力に頼った生き方はしたくない。自分の中の他の魅力を探すんだ。
Okay, but you just protected yourself. You couldn't think to do that for the other people? Okay.
筋トレだって始めたし、僕は変わるんだ。
変わるってってお前。
来るだ。超能力を使わない生き方だと。バカだな。わざわざ凡人どもに合わせて生きる必要なんてないのに。
Oh, holy
そ
crap.
の他の魅力などクソの役にも立たないよ。筋トレ、勉強、そんなのは凡人にやらせとけ。
He sounds like Beetlejuice.
僕の力の前では腕力も学力も法律すら無力だ。僕は特別な存在。この世界の中心なんだよ。
I feel like this is showing us the two extremes. Too much, too little. Too much, too little.
納得してくれねえか。
断る。あんなやつと引き分けなんて僕の人生の汚点になる。
茂雄は神になれる男だ。てめえみたいな人間を相手にして。
エクボ。
僕の最高ウェーブで消し飛ばした。ひとかけらも残さず根元からね。
エクボが朝礼された。
僕の前では所詮三流、小物でしかない。
お前は大物になるぜ。俺様が保証する。
こう言っておかないと勘違いするバカがいるんだ。こんな自分でも努力すれば何かになれるってね。
もっと自信を持て茂雄。主役はお前だぜ。
Yeah, they're showing the two extremes.
なんだよお前、その顔は。
あのさ、なんで小物とか凡人とかいちいち他人を下げないといけないのかな。
So, let me get this straight. He starts defending Dimple when this guy starts calling him names. But he sees people get beat up and he doesn't also think to defend them? Okay, I mean, I guess that's progress. Maybe he's starting to realize... Okay.
お前、いつまでも余裕面でいられると思うな。
I like his VA now that I know it's Beetlejuice.
僕の超能力で屈服させてやる。出力最大。
Calm
ノ
down.
ーブレーキで行くよ。
危ないよ。
Stop standing like that. Looks like you're
やめなよ。
holding in a
だ
poop.
ったら怪我しないっていうのか。僕の力を甘く見てんじゃねえ。
Holy crap. This kid goes too far. Way too far.
どうした？守ってばかりか。
やめろって言ってるのに。
They're ruining the whole school. What the heck?
包丁は危ないよ。人に向けちゃ。
僕に指図するな。林にするぞお前。もちろん殺す気なんてないが、これで反撃する気になるだろう。
いい加減に事故が起きるってば。
お前、わざとやっただろ。
What?
これ。
What?
大事故が起きた。
Did his hair get cut? No, that was you, dude. That was all you. Now you can't flirt with girls anymore. That fucking face though! Oh my goodness, it's like the Scream face almost.
より一層落ち武者っぽくなったとか思っただろう。
言ってない。
思ったんだな。いや、いい。分かっている。認めよう。この集体、この事実。も もうやめようよ。
終わらせたければ打ち負かしてみろ。ほらほらほら、どうした。反撃しないと大怪我するぞ。相手は僕なんだ。僕は人気者で世界の主役。全ては僕を中心に回ってるんだ。花沢照樹は選ばれた存在なんだ。
なんで
No, it's not that is not confidence, that is delusional. Don't get it mixed.
だって大怪我をさせたくない。
は面白い冗談だ。僕を凡人どもと一緒にするなよ。僕と奴らでは生物としてのレベルが違う。
超能力が使えるくらいでそこまで。
なんだと。
あ、いや少し大げさかな。
Ah, bitch.
お前だけだよ、そんな反論ができるのは。だから邪魔なんだ、お前みたいなのは。
あれ、わかった。なんでそんなに僕に敵意を向けるのか。これは同族嫌悪だ。花沢君は僕に少し似てる。超能力を持ってるところじゃなくて、自分に全然自信がないところ。自分から超能力を取ったら何も残らない。空っぽなんだ。それに気づくのが怖いんだ。友達も少ない。目立たなくて何の記録も残せない脇役の凡人。それが僕。花沢君の正体も僕と。
So they both have the same issue, but they deal with it in very different ways. So they both just need to find balance. They will become friends and find the balance together, I hope.
能力がないと何もできないってことを認めたくないんだと思う。
違う。寝言を言うな。僕とお前じゃ何もかも違うだろ。
同じだよ。僕から見れば凡人だもの。
Holy crap, that looked like a horror.
僕は何をしている。なぜこうなった。くそ、お前だ。
Dude, stop blaming everyone around you.
常にパーフェクトの前が、お前という存在がぶっ壊した。使え、超能力を使
ダメだ。人に向け。
And so it builds, and so it builds.
ダメだ。
来るか。
小学生が調子こくな。殺すぞ。
いつ。
てめえはと言ってる。
兄さん。痛いよ、兄さん。変わる。使わない。
But maybe if you don't explode, maybe if you use a little bit just to put some distance between yourselves.
僕は変わるんだ。
You could co-
なんだそれは。やっとやる気になったのか。それでいい。結局お前も信念を貫けないんだ。よし来た、最大マイヤー。使ったな、影山。我慢できずに超能力を使いやがった。てめえも人に向けて使ってんじゃねえか。結局お前も。こいつ意識がないのか。じゃあなんだよこの力。なんだ。僕の力が影山に吸い込まれて。
Why is it coming from his penis?
大衆のエネルギーもこんな膨大な器を持っていたのか。テルはそこに触れてはいけない何かを感じていた。異質、正体不明。嘘だろ。僕は何を目覚めさせてしまったんだ。
You need to
矛盾を
regulate
絡む無
them.
力感に飲まれる。どう
His
しても
powerlessness born from
矛盾を
contradictions.
絡む無力感に飲まれる。どうしても自分に勝てないという悲しみ。それはモブの自らに対するささやかな抵抗であった。
Now they'll become
花
friends?
沢君、服とかごめん。
待て影山、僕はもう
喧嘩はどうなったんだ。
ああ、テルさんだ。いたぞ、あそこだ。
あ、なんだあれ。うわあ、えげつなく処刑されてるぞ。あんな頭にされてたまるか。
あいつら見たろ影山、君の言った通りだ。僕たちから超能力を取ったら何も。影山君、
みんな、
おい影山、怪我はないのか。
僕は大丈夫ですけど。
よし、ならいい。今日はもう帰ってスクワットだ。
言い訳できないな。乾杯だよ。
なんか元気ないね。どうかした？何かあったら相談に乗るからね。おやすみ。
リツ、あの時はごめんね。
あの時？兄さんが車に酔って僕のパーカーのフードに吐いた時？
いや、まあその時もごめん。超能力の事故の時、どうしても思い出せないんだ。あの時僕はリツに何をしたんだろう。
ああ、高校生に絡まれた時のね。兄さんには何もされてないよ。不良が僕を突き飛ばして怪我をしただけさ。兄さんは僕を守ってくれたんだよ。いつまでも気にすることじゃない。おやすみ。
リツ、
てめえはどいてる。
あれは兄さんじゃなかった。
食欲がない。
この世界の片隅に超能力に憧れるあまり道を踏み外すリツ君。そんなこととはつゆ知らず、モブはのんきにトメとデートに明け暮れる。おいおいモブ、んなことやってる場合じゃねえぞ。次回モブサイコ100第6話、不調はなるために
パンチ
初回
見せてください。
正しい判断です。
There's something to be said about people holding back their talents out of fear of hurting others. On one hand, being compassionate is nice, but on the other hand, you really are just repressing yourself and making yourself miserable in a way. Worrying too much about hurting someone else, literally or metaphorically, does more harm than good. Yeah, the word that stands out to me most, balance. You gotta find, but Reagan said it all pretty well. Let me see here if I can find that whole little speech. I'm just gonna
それに対してお
watch
前は
it
どう
again because
地味な性格、冴えない日常。超能力のないお前に魅力なんかあると思うか？
いいか、よく聞け。俺たちは人とは違う特別な力を生まれ持った。
See, they were born with special powers that other people don't have, just like everyone is born with some innate. Well, I mean that's up to debate. Is everyone born with something, or is some people just born with nothing? Blah blah blah. That is definitely something that is for a different day that I would like to discuss. But let's talk about in general. You know, even if you're just born with arms and legs, you have something that other people don't have, and you have a different face, a different voice, different way of thinking, different talents, different. Everyone has something, right? And in their case, they have psychic powers or special powers.
決して自分を特別な存在だと勘違いしてはいけない。足が速い人、歌が上手い人、勉強ができる人、話が面白い人、超能力を使える人。これらに
You can't put one over the other.
力に自信を持つ
Being
のは
confident is fine, but don't get conceited. So it's like that's the balance. be confident but don't get conceited. That guy got completely delusionally conceited, whereas Mob is the opposite. He's not. It's like he knows he's strong, but he doesn't even want to use his powers. He doesn't realize that it is something that he's been blessed with, and he has to find, like, just like I can use my books, not me specifically, but any person can use their book smart or use their speed or their physical strength. It's like, for example, another show that I'm watching, I'm not going to mention what because I want to spoil, but there's another show where the one character doesn't have a certain kind of power, so that character kind of gets shunned in a way, but then she didn't get the power that she was supposed to have, but she got a different kind of power, and she used that in an extremely well way. But then the other person, her family member, who was born with the power that she should have been or was meant to be born with, she got the right power according to certain people, but this character is way stronger than that character, and that character resents that character for using the strength that she got, her strength in terms of, you know, her specialty, because all of us have certain strengths, you know. And then that character resents that character, and luckily this character doesn't let that character's resentment or guilt hold her back. She says, you know, she has to do her own thing. She has to work hard at her own, what's unique about her, what she can do well. And I think that character, and as I mentioned a while ago, that so I'm trying to be as vague as possible. That character is actually my favorite character of the series right now because of that way of thinking and way of doing things. She doesn't let the fact that she wasn't born with a certain kind of power hold her back. She doesn't let another person's resentment of her actual power hold her back. She just does her thing, works hard, and how else can I say it but does her thing, you know?
やり方次第で競技にもなる。刃物と同じだ。刃物でやっちゃいけないことといえばなんだ。
人に向ける？
よくわかってんじゃねえか。肝に銘じておけ。
It's like, I mean, it's like a sword, for example. You can use a sword to attack or defend, right? It's like, but you have to use the sword. You can't just keep it there, because then it has no use. And it felt to me in the last two episodes like he had the sword and he didn't want to attack with it, but he forgot that he could defend with it. Like, you don't have to suppress your powers to the point where you literally use it for the bare minimum. Like, he let this other guy move him around, but when there were still times when he used it, if that maybe something could have killed him, he still protected himself with a barrier. And it doesn't, like, so he uses it for the very, very bare minimum, but you don't realize that you could just manage it better. You could use it in different ways. You don't have to attack with it, but you could defend with it better, or use it more, at least to the point so that your feelings don't build up, because I believe psychic powers has to do with emotions as well. And so his whole mental, that blackout has to do with his emotions building up, and then that is linked to his powers, obviously. So I feel like if he would just learn to manage his he knows that he has this power and he does use it. So he just needs to learn how to use it better and accept that side of him, because at this point it just feels like he's rejecting or repressing a lot. Although being a total charlatan, Reagan is a good master for mob, at least in those matters. Total charlatan. That's a funny word. Well, Reagan's we is a bit presumptuous, yeah. Yeah, he's also slightly delusional, but at least not delusional as that. Okay, well, actually, I feel like they're probably equally delusional, but he doesn't... It's one thing to be delusional, but to be delusional and super strong is dangerous. But if you're delusional and then you can't really do anything, well, you know. He didn't want to go down a slippery slope, but he ends up pushing himself. Like, instead of sliding down the slope slowly. He just fucking fell down the slope like bah! That's the problem. He needs to learn balance so that he doesn't slide down the slope or fall down the slope. He can just stand at the top. That's called regulation, balance. So clearly that's something that he needs to work on, Hanazawa needs to work on, and hopefully throughout the story they kind of learn that. Yeah, I kind of need to end this soon because I started tonight's stream really late because of family stuff, but I have a live to watch. It's 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I should have started at 20 minutes to midnight, and now it's 10 minutes to 1. So I might have to split the K on live in 2. I don't know, I'll talk about that in a minute. We can decide how to go about it. It's far worse to be delusional and powerful than just delusional. Both are being delusional is bad, but people with power that are delusional that's bad for others. Like for you, it's bad to be delusional whether you have power or not. But for other people, if you are delusional and you have power, holy fuck, watch out. He represses himself too much, he keeps exploding. He needs to work on that. Exactly, yeah. But I think he knows that, but he's having the opposite effect. He's making it worse. Like he's fearing that explosion, but through fearing it, and repressing it, he's actually making it worse. And people do that all the time in real life. And I know this is completely different, but the only thing I can think of to relate to that is, I don't know, trigger warning. If you can't hear about eating disorders, don't listen now if that triggers you. But it was when I was in university, my first year, I had a lot of unresolved issues, and it would build up to the point, and I asked my parents, you know, I feel this kind of way, I feel like I don't want to be here, I'd like to drop out, come back home, figure myself out, and then decide. And my dad said, you're the first person to go study in our family, please just finish this, it would be so great for you to have this degree, and you know, it's something you can, even if you don't want to do anything with it, you can fall back on it, blah blah blah. I'm not going to go too much into the details. So I forced myself to stay, and all those emotions that I felt, all that anxiety in that time, it would build up, and I started developing an eating disorder because I didn't have a way to express any of that anxiety or get rid of any of that anxiety at the time. So what happened was, my stress during the week would build up, and then over weekends, in the beginning, it was just like over weekends, I would, I don't know how to say it without sounding gross, but I don't know if you guys know what bulimia is. It's when you binge and purge, so you eat a lot and then you throw everything up. So then over the weekends, that would be like kind of a ritual, because I didn't have people to go to, especially in my first year. So over weekends, that would like be what I do. And then it started getting so bad, and I got scared of the eating disorder and the anxiety, and it only made it worse. So I went from doing it over weekends to almost every single day. And eventually, the only way I got over the eating disorder and the anxiety was, ironically enough, to stop being scared of it, to stop pushing against it, and kind of, it's such a difficult thing. I had to go. Eventually, I went to therapy and whatever, and I had to learn this. So that's what I think Mob needs to learn. It's difficult for me because I'm not a psychologist. I can't put these into words and tell you you need to learn how to express and blah, 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 blah. But for 2 years, I pushed back and was scared of and suppressed a lot of the anxiety, and that resulted in eating disorder and stuff. And the only way to get rid of that, ironically, was to kind of, I can't put it into words, but I know that that's what Mob needs to do. He needs to learn that to not stop pushing against and repressing and incorporate or use, because I had to learn, I think this is how I can put it, I had to learn how to use my anxiety in a productive way instead of repressing it and being scared of it, you know? So I learned to do that through help of other people and many books. And he needs to learn how to do that. He needs to learn how to use, he's scared of his power and what it could be. But now the ironic thing is that fear leads to what he's scared of. So all he needs to do is learn how to incorporate, stop pushing against and learn to incorporate and use his power. Like I had to learn to use my anxiety instead of letting it, like pushing it down. You have to learn to deal with it. It's so weird. I don't know how to put it in good words. If you use strength as an example, someone is born really strong, balance. I will use these talents in sport responsibly. Low extreme, I can't use my strength, I might hurt someone. High extreme, time to become a serial killer, woohoo. Balance is key. Knox, I picked a great time for lunch. I'm sorry. Maybe he needs to accept and recognize the problem and work around it. Yeah, like work with your power instead of repressing it, because that's not helping it. You have to learn to accept it and find better ways of what is the word? Regulated use. You know, it's especially with people that have a lot of creativity too. You need an outlet. Anxiety needs an outlet. You need a healthy way to deal with anxiety so that it doesn't, you don't push it down, let it build up, and then it explodes in the worst kind of ways. And the problem is now it builds up to 100. It takes a while. It's not just erupting every fucking day, but it can come to a point where he starts hating himself so much because of all the small explosions that he starts exploding daily. So at some point he needs someone that will teach him to regulate, to come to love and accept his powers and then use it in a regulated fashion. So yeah, but it's very cool that it's so early in the story. Well, technically it's so short, so we're already halfway through. But I mean, we're 5 episodes in and it's established such a flawed character, but with so much potential for teaching and growth. I think Reagan is that figure. Well, hopefully. At this point, it seems to me like Reagan said one nice thing, but generally he's using Mob. If he was an actual Shisho, he would know a little bit more about Mob and, I don't know, give him... He said one nice thing that Mob remembered, but that needs to be a more consistent thing. So, I don't know, Reagan at this point, he has potential to be a great Shisho, but at the moment, he's kind of more using Mob than anything else. So, sorry, that was for my thumbnail. That's why I was like... but damn, the visuals in this episode was kind of hilarious, right? That guy's face. Crazy. I think the second season has like I don't know. I haven't checked really. Let me quickly show you guys though my plan for Mob. So Mob Psycho, we watched 4 and 5 today. Episode score. Let me quickly do that before I do the schedule. Story, I would give a 9. Characters, 8.5. Visuals, it was crazy, but in the best way. Like, it's so unique and everything's intentional. So honestly, I would give it 8.8. Very, very good. Almost that great. But the only reason I'm not giving it a 9 is mostly personal taste. Like, it's brilliant. I kind of want to just round it up because I think it deserves to be rounded up. Sure, I might not like it because of personal taste. It's not my favorite style, but it's actually brilliant. So I'm going to give it a 9. I think it deserves to be rounded up to a 9. Audio. Voice acting was great. Sound effects were great. Does this show have an ending? Oh yeah, it does. I didn't listen properly. Audio. I would give it 8.5, and I think that's being not being generous enough. Like, I think I could be more generous, but I'm gonna give it an 8.5 for audio. And then enjoyment, 8.5. Gives us an overall 8.7 for Mob Season 1, Episode 5. Matty gave it an 8.5. Anderson gave it an 8.7. I like the line when his hair gets cut. Something about a serious accident has occurred. Yeah, that was hilarious. So my plan is with Mob Psycho, next week we're doing 5 and 6. Then 7 and 8. Then 9, 10, 11, and 12 together, because at that point K-On! I'll be finished with K-On! And then I can do 9, 10, 11, 12 together. I'm not sure if you noticed already, but the schedule, it says Mob Psycho 5 and 6 next week, but we watched 5 today. Oh, okay, crap. I forgot we did 3 episodes in the first, so let's say next week is 6 and 7, 8 and 9. Okay, so we're going to do 10, 11, 12. So that will be the finale. Yeah, we did watch 5 right now. But the reason why it was wrong on the schedule was because I planned on doing 1 and 2 in the first week. But then I did 1, 2, 3, and I didn't adapt the rest of the schedule. I only adapted the following week's schedule. But now it's right. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then from I think after I finish season 1, I'll probably watch season 2 of Love is War. And that's only 12 episodes. So then after Love is War, I'll be doing season 2 of Mob, which has how many episodes? 13. So, yeah. So then Love is War, season 2, episode 1 and 2. And then episode 3 and 4. And then we'll finish Love is War, and then we'll get back to season. So if I do it at 2 episodes a week, it'll probably take about 5 weeks. Because I might, for example, that first day, I could do 3 or 4 episodes, depending on what other stuff I want to fit in. But I'm leaving it open for now. But I'll probably finish in 5 weeks, and then I'll get back to Mob Psycho. So that's the plan, okay? You have plans to watch you have plans to watch some anime during the break week. What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean. Oh, on my own? I don't know what I'm planning to do, but yeah, I'll be on bed rest or whatever, so probably I'll watch anime on my own. I want to get a lot of reading done. But we'll see. Seems like a good plan. I hope to find time to watch season 1 of Love is War before that time comes. Well, I mean, there will be a whole week off from the 8th to the 15th for me. So there will be no videos of mine to watch that you might have watched otherwise. So maybe during that time you could watch some Love is War. I think it's just 12 episodes the first season, so I believe you would be able to catch up. If anyone else is considering it, it's really sweet and nice. Don't have too high. I expected it when I watched this season. People told me if Kira and Elle from Death Note were reincarnated into a love comedy, people made it sound like and it has the tag of psychological. So I expected some paranoia agent shit in terms of psychological warfare. But it's mostly comedy and romance and slice of life. It's not psychological. Don't expect any. Maybe a little, like 1%, 5%, if we looked up at Mob's thing, but damn, a week off, I'm gonna be so lost. No, I'm gonna be around still. I'm gonna do TikTok streams because I can do that from my phone. Just hang out with you guys. I'm gonna be around. Do you think I'm gonna take off? Oh God, I didn't. Not good at them. That evil laughs. I swear to God, I just choked on my spit. I love Paranoia Agent. Good reference. I only watched some of Paranoia Agent because it was on Animax when I was in high school or primary school. So I only watched a few episodes, but it seemed crazy, and I really want to watch that one day. Like the whole thing. No, it's nothing like Elle and Kira. It is just if two tsunderes fell in love with each other. That is how you explain the show. Not let's leave Death Note out of it. Creates too high expectations. I wonder what Hanku would think about Love is War then. Put your hands up, it helps with the cough. Yeah, because it doesn't press down. But yeah, I will definitely be around. As much as I'm around now, probably. Okay, not really, because I'm not going to be doing 7-hour streams, but I'll probably stream for a couple of hours every day, or I'll be on Discord for sure during the day. I'll be sharing, if I read, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts. If I watch anime, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts all on Discord. So you guys will definitely know I won't disappear. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys then next week for episode 6 and 7 of Mob Psycho. It was really great. I really love the conversation. I love heated conversation, as long as people don't get rude, and no one got rude, so we're all good. Until the final season when Chica gets the Death Note. # spoilers. Bye!